What is going on, guys? Joe Robert here with the POD Pod, episode 10. We're in double digits, and I am super excited that you guys, I can tell that you guys are enjoying this because I can see how many listens we get, right? Like I can see the stats. I can see people that are listening on SoundCloud and on YouTube, and I'm still trying to figure out how to get this thing on Apple Podcasts so that way you guys can take it with you everywhere that you go in a very easy way. So that'll be coming soon, I hope. I definitely want to get it to that point where I can have it on multiple different channels for you guys to be able to listen, right? So the last episode of the podcast, I talked about having a why, right? Like having a why to why you're doing what you're doing, and like what keeps you going and what motivates you. And I think the response. Well, first off, the response from that podcast was really nice. I got a few really good comments about it. So if you guys haven't checked it out, you guys can find it on podninjas.com/podcast. Episode 9 is the one that I'm referencing. But I wanted to expand a little bit on some of that stuff, and basically quick summary if you guys haven't heard that episode. Basically I talked about the need for you guys to have some sort of a driving force behind what you're doing, that you have an actual motivation or an actual thing that is driving you. And sometimes people get caught up in just wanting the financial, and what's tough about that is at some level, right, like that is motivating, but at another level it's really not. Like just the financial piece is not going to get you to spend the late night or to set the alarm and get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, right? Like those are things that I literally do. Yesterday I launched the POD Ninjas e-learning center, and I set an alarm for 3 o'clock in the morning to get up and basically get everything ready, so that way at 7 p.m. I was able to launch, right? So I got up at 3 o'clock and I started working through all of the different links and all of the different sequences that somebody could potentially go through to make sure that there was little to no errors. And what's funny is we launched and there was still a few errors here and there, but that's what it takes, right? Is like, because I have this why in my head, and I talked to you guys about it on the last episode, but I have this motivation, right? This thing that I'm chasing, and that's what's getting me up out of bed. And I'm not trying to act like I'm some superhero, right? Like anybody can get up early to do something, but I'm telling you that there is this gap that exists amongst people who want to be entrepreneurs. And that's kind of like what I wanted to talk about today, right? Is how do we bridge that gap and get everybody to the place that they want to be at. On one side of the fence you have all these people, and I believe that I am one of these people that is willing to do whatever it takes to put in the work and is playing the long game, right? And then on the other end you have people that aren't really totally invested. Those are the people that are looking for some sort of a quick payday. They're looking to sign up to something and see they're looking to sign up to a weight loss class and see 20 pounds lost in the first week or something, right? Like if you guys are going to the gym, I love this analogy because it's so true. If you guys show up to the gym and you're 50 pounds overweight and you say to the trainer, hey man, what do I have to do in order to lose some of this weight? He's gonna, or she's gonna probably say, well, this is what I think you should eat on a daily basis. You're gonna get your little meal plan, right? He's gonna tell you, hey, 5 days a week, I want you to do this for exercise, right? And he's going to give you, or she's going to give you a little setup, and you guys are going to be pumped, and you guys are going to start doing it. And there's some of you out there that are going to start doing it, and you're going to feel great, right? And you're going to feel great, and you're going to be really optimistic. You're going to feel like things are, starting to click, and that, you're working towards this goal. And then there are some of you who are going to do it for a week and then go back to the trainer and say, hey man, like I've only lost a pound, like what's going on? And that's the same thing with Shopify or anything entrepreneurial, right? Is that there's a group of people that once they start doing the work, like they get super excited, they're optimistic, right? Like they know that they're working towards something. And those are the first group of people that I described with the weight loss class. And then on the other end, you have people that sign up, they watch a few YouTube videos, maybe they buy a course, maybe they get a mentor or whatever, and they start doing something and it doesn't work, and then they get super discouraged, right? They think that because they, signed up for a course, or because they watched, a ton of YouTube videos, and because they're a member of all of the latest print on demand or Shopify drop shipping or Amazon merch or Etsy or whatever it is, they're a part of those Facebook groups. Like, they think that, they're going to be an overnight success. And it's unfortunate, because there's a lot of people out there that are super, hardworking. They have a great work ethic, but they just have this false expectation, I guess. And I think it really comes down to, having a why and being able to chase it. Like, I think a lot of the people that, have this why about, I think a lot of the people that kind of chase this as an overnight get rich type of thing, like, their only why is the money, and if you relate it to the weight loss thing, the people that are successful with weight loss, they're chasing more than just, losing 50 pounds. Like, they're chasing health, right? Like, they're trying to promote the longevity of them, right? Like, they're trying to be healthy, and they see the weight loss as like a bonus. Like, they just want to be healthy, they want to feel good, they want to look good, and they, that's what drives them, right, is being healthy. But then the people that expect a quick fix, quick weight loss thing, those are the people that they just want to look down at the scale and see the number that they want to see, right? Or they just want to fit into those pants or that dress, right? And that's what I see a lot with people in entrepreneurial worlds. And I think that we need to bridge that gap. I think we all need to realize that a lot of this stuff is not, overnight. Like, anything you're doing online, right, as a business is a real business, right? Like, I wouldn't just open up a pizza shop on the side of the road and, quickly, paint the walls and stuff and offer, 2 or 3 different types of pizza that I think people are going to want. And then as soon as I realize that nobody wants my pizza, give up, right? Like, I wouldn't do that. Like, it's the same thing with anything online or anything that you do, is that you have to, play the long game. You have to look at this as something that's going to take a while. And the thing is that there's not one person, right? I don't think you could find anybody who has been successful with drop shipping or Etsy or print on demand or anything to do with online business, affiliate marketing. I don't think you could find me one person who started and within their first month was a success, right? Like, I don't think you could find that. I don't think you could find anybody really that achieved any sort of, long-lasting success after 2 months of trying, right? I know for me, some of you guys have heard my whole story. Like, for me, like, this was not a quick thing. Like, that's why I'm so passionate about it, because I went through months of what some of you are going through, right? Like, some of you out there that are not achieving what you want to achieve, like, I went through months of that, and months and months and months, and long nights and early mornings and frustrating times and frustrating conversations, with my wife, right? Like, I was spending all this time not having any rewards, spending money on ads, spending money on Shopify, spending money on apps for Shopify, right? And I knew deep down that if I kept on keeping on, right, like, if I kept on going and pursuing this thing, that it was eventually going to click and I was going to be able to figure it out. And I think that that's the difference, right, is that it's just not true that you're going to be an overnight success. You got to put in the work and you got to move forward. And I know that there's, I have my print on demand group right now, and there's a lot of people in there. We're just about 4,200 members right now, and there's a lot of people in there that are starting to see some success, right? But then there's also people that don't, and I notice it as, I'm the owner of the group, obviously, so I notice, a lot more than just the regular members, like who's posting what and stuff like that. And I've noticed, right, like, there's been people that used to be super active in the group, right? They used to be super active posting. They used to message me and stuff and tell me what they were doing. They used to comment on my YouTube videos and stuff. And now I don't see them anymore, right? And that's because they've given up. They've either given up or they left the group or whatever, because it's not working for them, and they were looking at it as a overnight type of thing. And that's the difference, right? That's what's on my mind right now. And I just think it's sad, because we live in a time that we are, like, the fact that you can sit at your laptop and literally at your fingertips is the potential to have the most profitable business at your fingertips, and you don't have to hire a single employee. Like, I think that is just amazing. And the fact that some people are not looking at it as a real business, and I think it's almost disrespecting the business, right? Like I think it's disrespecting Shopify and those that have put in a ton of time, right? That people that have spent the long nights or the early mornings, right? Like that's the difference. I feel like I'm rambling at this point. If you guys made it this far in the podcast, right, I want you guys to post in the POD Ninjas group that you made it to the end. I'm just curious how many of you are here. So thank you guys to let me know for hanging out. Thank you guys for checking out the pod, and I'll see you guys later.